Hi, this is Chris Cummings, and I'm here with Coach Aubrey Sheffield of Maximum Velocity Track Club and Penfield High School. We want to talk a little bit today about some of the great work that he's been doing with his athletes. So, Aubrey, could you give me a little bit of an overview on your coaching philosophy when you're working with your kids?
Yeah, my philosophy is pretty simple. It's just basically to make young men and women, and they're more than just athletes, better human beings, and ready to take on the world when it's their time.
Great. And track and field, I think, is a great, sport to teach some life lessons that,
Yes,
can serve you later on.
absolutely.
How did you get your start in track and field?
Oh man, I got my start in track and field. It was actually probably in between my 8th and 9th grade year. I always was fast, so I raced all the guys around the neighborhood and always won. And then I noticed there was a track club around the corner from where I lived. So I would go there every day and look at some of those guys until finally the coach, who was Cedric Walker, said, "Hey, why don't you come run?" Well, I didn't stick with the club because my 9th grade year I went to Edison Tech where I ran. It was still, just meeting Cedric was huge for me, who wound up becoming my first coach at Edison. So.
Oh, great. And kind of what got you started in coaching? Was it the influence of Cedric and seeing what he did?
Yes, definitely the influence of Cedric, but I'm a coach that's have a lot of influence from a lot of guys. Coach Ken Rasmussen was huge to me, and I still talk to him often. I can never learn enough from him. Walter Larkin, who was also coach at Edison at the time, was also a family member, also huge as well. So I take a lot of all those guys, and that helps me to become one. Another one, I mean, they even took from basketball coaches and who I've coached with, Steve Shapansky, Jacob Scott, and I learned from those guys, and just I take a lot of different styles and they become me.
Yep, that's great. What do you attribute Maximum Velocity's success to? Like I said, it is one of the probably the largest youth club we've got and the fastest growing. So what do you attribute that success to?
Oh, it's nothing without the parental support that we get from the families of the athletes, as well as our board, who have all had kids throughout the Penfield program, and they actually pull this whole thing together. Like, they just say, "Hey, chef, what do you need?" And they make it happen. They just say, "Hey, we just want you and the coaches just to coach." So that's the success right there, hands down.
Great. What's been your proudest moment in track and field?
Oh, I got a lot. Oh, so many to say, but probably my proudest moment was my Penfield boys breaking the Section 5 4x2 indoor record. Actually, they smashed it. They really had a great race that day, and can't take that from them.
Great. We talked, I mentioned before, track and field is a great way to learn a lot of lessons. What has this sport taught you? What are the top 3 lessons you think you've learned?
Just discipline is huge, especially for a kid like me who came in, because I was a little rough, wild kid who pretty much did whatever he wanted to do. So I learned a lot of discipline. Coach Raz was huge in that. Just learning how to be humble, and just learning what hard work is.
Yep. I think, track might be one of those ultimate sports that you get out what you put in.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't put the work in, you're not going to get the results. And
Right.
for the most part, if you do put the work in, you do end up seeing the results.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is there a favorite training drill or strategy or a tip that you would have? So when your athletes, you couldn't get together with them during the pandemic, what kind of things were you having them do?
Well, a lot of I sent a lot of workouts. A lot of them were training in the streets. Tried to make it as fun as possible. Being that they didn't have that camaraderie and being able to be together. But yeah, so it was very interesting. I mean, this is probably the toughest coaching job I ever had to do. How do you coach kids that you're not right in front of? So it takes a lot of accountability there with them, and just knowing that I believe in and they trust in me, and they go out and do it. But when training, probably the biggest tip that I always tell, and people hear me say this a million times: rest. Rest is so important. When I give you some time off, take it. When I give you time in between your runs, take it.
Yep. Recovery is very, very
Mm-hmm.
important.
Yep.
How did you find, the kids, like you said, they don't have the camaraderie. They're working out in the streets. How did your athletes embrace that?
It was tough at first. But then you have to let them know, like, listen, this thing will be over, at some point, and then we're going to have to get back to normal. Just do this for yourself. Mentally, you need this. You don't want to get you don't want to stay shut up in the house all day without anything to do. You'll go crazy. I know I was going crazy. I don't know. I was throwing different videos out, driving. I probably drove my wife crazy. I'm thankful she didn't leave me, but it's something you got to get out. You just got to get out and do it. And we had a great summer, even though we couldn't travel and go to places that we wanted to do. The weather was great, so we got to take advantage of it.
Great. How do you think your athletes would describe you?
I think, I hope I'm the fun, cool coach. And I say that because I still have athletes from years ago that still stay in contact with. Anytime they're in town, we go out to eat. We do a lot of things. I've also been blessed to walk a young lady down the aisle that I coached before. So some of those things like that, they just stay with me. I'll always have those memories.
Yeah, that's great. And making it fun means kids stick with it, and
yep.
Like you said, then you have a lifelong relationship with them. Wonderful. It's definitely reflects very positively on you as a coach.
Yep.
You recently started a new business venture called the Speed Factory, I believe. Could you talk to me a little bit about that and what you're trying to do there?
Yeah. So my partner and I, Mo Jackson, he's been blessed enough. He actually played for the Bills for a brief stint, and a great football player. Another Section 5 alumni as well. He went to Marshall, and we rag on him a lot about that because I'm Edison and he's Marshall, so Edison is always better than Marshall. So I'm glad to get that out. But we decided to come together and put together the Speed Factory, which is a controlled environment for kids to learn from some of the best coaches out there. We got a nice staff, and we just give them, so a lot of times we talk about the club sports and kids are just going anywhere and learning anything. We're making sure that they're here learning in a controlled environment, giving them the tools that they need to succeed.
Great. And I think that's probably been a void in the Rochester area, a place for kids to be able to go and get that consistent training and all of that. So well, I wish you the best of luck with that venture, and I appreciate you taking the time with me today.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you. But I do want to say one more thing. Another proud moment that I just cannot let go was in 2009 at Edison, where we won the whole state title with just a crazy group of kids that's always going to be a part of my family. And Walter Larkin, Coach Ken Rasmussen, Coach Paul Mary, Coach Guilford. I mean, it was a dream team that you're just like, man, where can I get one of those again? So just had to say that.
Yes, winning a state championship at the team level in track and field is something that probably has not happened a lot in this area.
No, not at all.
All right, well, congratulations and good luck with the season as hopefully we get back to, a sense of normalcy.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.